Good morning, everyone. My name is Joshua Campbell Torrance. I'm the Executive Director here at the Bennington Museum. I'm so glad you're with us for today's Tour at 10, where today we're going to look at a really interesting instrument recently featured in our exhibition, Resounding. Joining us is our collection manager and one of the stars of Tours at 10, Callie Raspusi.
This is one of my favorite instruments in our collection, and part of the reason that I like it so much is that we don't really know what it is. It is part cello, part guitar, part who knows what. We lovingly call it our tin Frankencellotar. It is made out of tin. It has a guitar-ish body in that the body is flat and seems to be something that you would play strummed, but the shape is certainly more like a cello. Its size is more of a guitar. The neck certainly seems to have come from a cello, but it doesn't really match any of those instruments the way they would be played. The story behind this instrument is that it came from the Union Church and was used in the Union Church choir up in Danby, Vermont. How they used it is not recorded, and we've not been able to find any evidence of what they used it for. And when it came to us, it had regular cotton strings on it that were really just for display purposes. It certainly had not been played in many years. And when we created this exhibit, Resounding, part of the idea of this show was that we were going to take these old instruments and make them playable again. So for this particular one, we went to Mark Mulheron, and he added a bridge. And one of the theories that we were thinking of is that this was perhaps sort of somewhat like a banjo, and maybe could be made to be played that way. It has a lot of interesting problems with it, no matter what you do with it. But he created a bridge for it, added banjo strings, and one of the things he found was that the board down here is actually a particle board, so certainly not original to this instrument. But he was able to make it work. And another problem we have with this exhibit is that we, as a museum, we don't really like people touching our objects. We like to keep them safe and behind glass. But the whole idea of this exhibit is that these are musical instruments, and they are meant to be played. And we had a concert that was planned that was going to accompany this show, and this was one of the instruments that was actually going to be played in that concert. And we also had different composers writing music, and this is one of the instruments that they played. So I'm just going to strum it for you so you can at least hear what it sounds like. Sort of sounds like a banjo being played in the bottom of a steel oil tank or something like that. It's quite funky. So even though we don't know exactly what it is, it's possible that it was simply meant to be a trade sign or a display piece. Maybe it was used in the Christmas choir at church in the pageant. The board up here has certainly been used, but whether it was used when it was with this instrument or used as a cello and then added to this to make something that looks nice, we don't know. But we have taken it, we have made it playable, and it's a wonderfully unique object.
Well, thank you so much, Callie, for showing us that really very cool object here in the exhibition Resounding. It's a great exhibit, and that is a great story about an object that, sometimes as a museum, we don't know everything about objects that we have in our collection. So sometimes we like to say the research never stops, and maybe with that piece, the research never stops as we keep digging and finding more information. But in the meantime, I love it that it came back to life and was used and enjoyed, and that it's producing some wonderful sounds. So thank you for joining us on today's Tour at 10. We remind you here at the Bennington Museum that history is happening now. Please stay strong, stay safe, stay creative until we can meet you again here in the galleries of the Bennington Museum.